Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with the world champion's best decks that he used to win $250,000. With over 1 million people watching and massive pressure, Mohamed Light used his top decks to beat the best players in the world. These decks have serious outplay potential, so no matter who you're playing against, what matchup it is, if you play these decks well, you will win. Let's break down the best player in the world's favorite decks and assert dominance. A whole lot of love to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to support the channel. In the finals, Mohamed Light relied on this graveyard freeze deck to secure a super easy win. Against the second best player in the world, he only took 800 damage using this deck. Look at this guy's name. We gotta put him to shame out here. So he's gonna go for a Fire Spirit. Obviously, probably gonna be a fast cycle deck. Don't necessarily know if it's gonna be a fast cycle deck because there are some Electro Giant decks that do run that. I'm gonna go for a Bowler in front so we can conveniently snipe all of the goblins. And I'm not going to click the Golden Knight ability until the skeletons are gone, because now he doesn't have Fire Spirit in cycle because he dropped it at the river, and then he didn't get the Valkyrie down in time because he didn't have enough elixir, so I punished him very aggressively there. So I feel comfortable going in for an Electro Wizard. It's going to be a bit better than going in for anything else. If he goes in for a spell on the E-Wiz, I would go in Tornado and pull the Valkyrie directly to the King Tower, but unfortunately that doesn't happen. As you guys can see, we're up a lot, and I want to go for a Graveyard because Electro Wizard is going to counter push, and typically this deck is built off of counter pushes. It's not a good deck when you're spamming stuff at the river and hoping that you get damage. You always defend your opponent's stuff first when you're up elixir, then you go for your Graveyard, and then you can conveniently freeze if they give you value. But as you guys are noticing, we're focusing on defense 24/7, 365 with this deck because that's how it do what it do. I'm going to go for a Baby Dragon here so the Musketeer doesn't lock onto our tower. We cycle the Inferno Dragon in the far back so we didn't leak Elixir. And this guy's going to go in for a Valkyrie, so the Valkyrie definitely dies here. Wait, the Baby Dragon splashed onto the tower too. That's even more value. Let's get it. You know the best thing about this is we can go in for a Golden Knight and then play super aggressive afterward. Or we can go in for a Golden Knight and a Bowler if he drops it in the back. No, he's dropping it in front, so the Bowler full counters. I don't know if you guys know this, but if the Bowler kills the Goblin Drill with its shot, then it kills all the Goblins that are hiding in the drill too. No one can hide from the big bad Bowler. I'm going to go in for a Golden Knight here, and since Double Elixir is approaching relatively soon, I know that I can go in for a Golden Knight ability as well and get a lot of value. Yo, wait. I think the Golden Knight, like, locks onto the tower here. Let's go! It dashed onto the Valkyrie, the cannon, and the tower, and that's why Golden Knight is absolutely broken. I didn't even need to use Tornado. Typically with this deck, in the later stages of the game, what you'll do is you'll use Tornado, and you'll pull stuff together so then the Bowler and the Golden Knight can splash onto your opponent's tower. This guy rage quit and he just dipped out of the game. He didn't even want to play. That's how broken Mohamed Light's decks are when you play them well and you wait for your opportunities. So, we already won this one. It's super satisfying to make someone rage quit when their name is You're So Bad. Let's bounce on to the next one. Throughout the entire tournament, Mohamed Light destroyed other pro players using this Royal Hog cycle deck. The other world finalist Morton respected Mohamed Light's skill with the deck so much that he had to build a deck to beat it. I'm going to go in for a Fire Spirit and see what's up. Usually Fire Spirit with this deck is the best play to do because if your opponent doesn't have a cheap elixir investment with 1 elixir, they're always going to get a positive elixir trade with the Fire Spirit, or in our case, we got 300 damage, which is amazing to build off of. Typically, when you're playing against someone with Lava Hound, what you'll want to do is want to damage down the Lava Hound as quickly as you can with the Archer Queen, apply opposite lane aggression, and then use the Rail Delivery on everything else. I think we're going to be fine here, so what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to pop the Archer Queen ability, and then go in for the Rail Delivery here to melt everything afterward. Wait, we're fine. Yeah, we're chilling. The balloon doesn't do any damage. I can go in for a Fire Spirit to pull everything back, and then I can Rail Delivery afterwards so we can kill... Wait, I think the Inferno Dragon takes my tower, so well played to our opponent. I think this might be one of the more difficult matchups if you do play against someone that has Inferno Dragon with Lava Hound Miner. It could become dicey, especially if they get the Inferno Dragon on the tower, and your only available answer to kill the Inferno Dragon would be the Archer Queen. I wish I had Skeletons in cycle, but I didn't have those Skeletons in cycle to distract. So the Inferno Dragon did way more damage than it typically would. Anyway, we'll show you guys how to win this matchup, hopefully. And a lot of times when you play this matchup, it will be a 2-1 victory just because it becomes a little bit more dicey when your opponent's going to have Barbarians that are going to be harder to break through, since you can't necessarily make predictions on them like you would with an Earthquake against a Skeleton army, or maybe even your opponent potentially running a version of, you know, guards that you could kill with an Earthquake and a Log and maybe some Archer Queen hits. It's just something to keep in mind. Okay, so I'm going to get ready with the cannon here, and then I think I got to go in for Royal Hogs. As you guys already know, with the Barbarians out of cycle, we got to take the most of the situation and see what we can accomplish. I'm not going to click the Archer Queen ability until I absolutely have to, and I will do it now because it's going to get targeted by the tower and also the Skeleton Dragons. We can get back to a cannon, I think. Yeah, really nice stuff. Barely last second we got the cannon down, so we were able to distract the balloon. But I don't know if we can win this, actually. It was looking good. He's going to zap, so that he guarantees that he gets another balloon hit, so that was a great play on our opponent's end. Remember, he's going to have barbarians, so it's going to be way harder for me to make this work. I think he's going to go barbarians right now in the Royal Hogs. The Royal Hogs will take tower, but I spent a lot of elixir to do that, so was it incredibly fulfilling? Not necessarily, but it worked out. All right, so the Royal Delivery doesn't even kill because he pulled back some of them. I'm going to have to go in for a Fire Spirit here and then go for Royal Hogs. The Fire Spirit is able to lock onto everything that we need, and I can cycle Skeletons to get back to a Delivery here so that it can pop on all of our opponent's stuff. So this Delivery has to be insane value. I don't know if it's able to pull through. Wait, it just deleted everything. No way. That's crazy. I think Delivery is quite possibly the most underrated card in the game right now. I don't know if he's going to be back to Barbarians. He is actually back to it, so that's quite unfortunate for us. If we Earthquake, it's not going to be worth it. We need to cycle multiple Royal Deliveries if we have any hope of winning this. I'm going to go and cycle a Cannon here, and then I think I have to cycle Royal Hogs very aggressively here. So I'm going to go in for this. I'm going to cycle Royal Hogs to pull back the Inferno Dragon, so I hopefully don't have to deal with that. And then I'm going to click the ability, and then I'm going to go in for a Royal Delivery afterward. So as you guys can see, he's having to drop way more elixir than he would typically want to. The Archer Queen is still alive. No way. We're pulling the Inferno Dragon back again. Wait, this deck has so much outplay potential, it's unreal. We almost got back to another Archer Queen ability. I don't think he has anything here. If I go Royal Delivery early, I should be able to distract the Inferno Dragon. Let's go! I think I won it! That's beautiful, baby. So even in the most difficult situations, because you have Archer Queen in a quick 3-card cycle, and Royal Delivery, one of the best defensive cards in the game, you can make serious outplay potential. Archer Queen was the only anti-air card that we had in the deck, and you can only stack up one of them at the time. If you had Musketeer, you'd be able to stack up multiple Musketeers, and it wouldn't be near as sketchy. Speaking of which, if you don't have Archer Queen, you can run Musketeer instead, and this deck works out wonderfully. When Mohamed Light played this Mortar Cycle deck, the second best player in the world struggled to get only 600 damage the entire match. It simply wasn't fair because Mohamed Light could spam everywhere. Skeleton armies, bats, miners, and mortars just have way too much damage potential. With just one successful Skeleton King ability, Mohamed Light shredded his entire tower. Let's get it. Even though Ahmed is a part of the Antidote clan, I feel like no antidote will ever be able to cure this toxicity of a deck that we have here. I'm going to go for a mortar really aggressively, and we'll see what he decides to do. Typically, you don't want to defend the first mortar with bats or skeletons or anything like that, just because you could overcommit and then feel really bad about yourself. So I'm going to go for bats here, since we're going to be able to kill the Royal Hogs, and then I'll get great counter push with the miner. The Skeleton army is going to die. I could have went in for a Skeleton King here. I'm going to collect a lot of souls from the bats and the skeletons that are dying, so I think it's worth it with the miner counter pushing. Wait. This is really bad for him. I don't think he's able to defend this, guys. I'm going to go in for a Skeleton King ability, but even if you arrows right now, now you don't have a spell for all the other skeletons that are spawning. No, it activated King Tower. Bro, that Larry just wanted to curse me or something. I guess he really does have the antidote for me. All right, pretty good start, despite that little skeleton. He's giving us the skeleton dance. I guess that's what the skeleton was doing on the tower. His emoji is just telling me what happened. He's painting the picture for me. I'm going to go for a mortar very aggressively. He probably has a Royal Giant deck, so I will go for a Musketeer if he decides to do that. Otherwise, we can go in for a Skeleton Army. I think he's going to know that I'm going to do that, so I'm going to Musketeer in the middle, and then I'm going to go in for the Skeleton Army afterward, so then he doesn't think that I'm going to do it anymore. And I'm going to go for a Skeleton King on the left-hand side because he's going to kill all the skeletons. The Musketeer is going to supplement the Skeleton King, and then when he kills the skeletons, we get absurd value with the King. That's the reason why this deck is a little bit broken. Even though your Skeleton Army dies, it's still going to give you another Skeleton Army, this time that's moving closer to your opponent's side of the map, and for less elixir. 1 less elixir than 3, so pretty good for me. Obviously, he has to go Ghost, and that's a lot of elixir spent, so I can go in for bats here, and then I can go in for a mortar very aggressively. And Mohamed Light likes this deck. A lot of professional players in CRL. This is one of the most played decks in the entire game. I also thought he had Royal Giant for a second because I saw Giant Skeleton, and then I just remembered it's Royal Hogs. Sometimes my brain does that when I commentate a lot. Anyway, this guy is going to end up having Mother Witch, which is not a practically great card for us to play against.
That is an Avengers level threat.
Unfortunately, the Musketeer doesn't lock onto that, and it looks like the Bat is also going to give him another piggy there. So I want to go in for a Skeleton Army on the right-hand side to finish off the Fisher Boy. It's going to lock onto the Skeletons instead. Skeleton King will give us a lot of value here. I'm just going to click the ability. For 2 elixir, I kill a Giant Skeleton. Well worth it for me. Even if you decide to go for arrows, it's not worth it for you, because I can go in for a mortar here. We should be able to pull off a very nice defense with the poison on top of the piggies, and kill the Giant Skeleton, and finish off the Mother Witch inside the poison. Even though he gets a lot of piggies, they basically all die to the poison, so it's not necessarily like the best trade for him in the world. I'm going to go in for a Skeleton Army here. He's likely going to drop a spell with arrows, and if he does, then I go Skeleton King at the river. Oh, I thought he was going to do that for sure. He didn't. Anyway, we can go for a Mortar on offense. We've got the Skeleton King coming at him. We've got a Miner as well. There's just way too much crap for him to deal with all at the same time, and that's why this deck is just uncannily aggressive and very unfair. Professional players love it, because Skeleton King, when you're applying aggression with Miner and Mortar, most of the times your opponent will slip up once, and then you can just poison and Miner cycle them out for the win. After that dominant victory, now we're 9,600 in the world. Using his favorite Graveyard Freeze deck, Mohamed Light was able to beat Mother Witch using a crazy clutch Golden Knight Tornado card combination. This deck made one of the best comebacks that Clash Royale has ever seen. Jumping into this one, the guy already arrows my tower, so I'm just going to Electro Wizard in the back, and we'll see what he's going to be doing for any plans of attack. So arrows and Miner makes me feel like it's likely going to be a Lava Hound deck. I think it's going to be Lava Hound, Miner, arrows, if I had to guess. He's just going to eat that damage from the Electro Wizard and not care and start a Lava Hound in the back, or nah. Okay, so here's the scary thing for me. If I can't do much. I got to go like Golden Knight, and then I kind of have to go for like a Graveyard on defense so that Inferno Dragon perpetually gets distracted by that. That is literally my only available option, guys. Nothing else works here. So my Inferno Dragon melts his, fortunately. The Skeletons are going to be able to swarm everything. Does my Inferno Dragon win that? I don't think so. I don't think that my... Oh, it does! Wait, we're still in the game. We're still in it to win it. I'm definitely going to lose my tower, so this is not good. Man, Lava Hound decks, when you don't have the correct card cycle, can become completely crazy and bad matchups, right? That's wild. So I'm going to Tornado everything back so he doesn't get as much damage, and we can do some nice splash damage. And then I can go for a Bowler here to finish off the rest of the Barbarians, hopefully. He's trying to put in a lot of work on the 3 crown, which obviously is going to work out well for him. But he has to deal with a Bowler, and I'm expecting him to go Inferno Dragon. But then he knows that I have Electro Wizard, unless he forgot. Oh, I really hope he forgot. If he Inferno Dragons on my Baby Dragon, that would be miserable for me. If he Inferno Dragons there, it'd be hilarious. So I'm going to be planning on going for a Graveyard, and then I want to go for an Electro Wizard, so then the Bowler takes the tower. He's going to Inferno Dragon there. Yeah, so he's just going to build up a huge push and try to 3 crown me. So I got to do the exact same thing to him. With a Bowler and then Inferno Dragon, maybe I can make that work. So as you guys can see, we're going for the Hail Mary. We are not trying to do anything different. He's going to balloon. Okay, that was a great balloon, actually. Straight up, that was a very smart play to go and pull me back. If we go for an Electro Wizard, we should be fine. And then we can go in Tornado, back the balloon, and also all of his other stuff. Why is this game so weird right now? I think that Lava Hound, typically what I would like to do is go Inferno Dragon and then melt all of his other units after we kill the Lava Pups with our Electro Wizard and then also our Baby Dragon. But I never had that luxury, so this game has become way more clunky and funky. The Inferno Dragon's out of cycle, so I can go Bowler and I can go for a Graveyard on the right-hand side to command a very, very, very aggressive presence that he has to worry about. Don't even know if he's able to stop this. Hypothetically, like if I go Freeze and then I go Electro Wizard on top of his Inferno Dragon, I probably take Tower. Wait, that was such a high IQ play. I think we got this. All I have to do is defend for the next couple, like 15 seconds, and I walk away with the win. He's going to go in for a balloon any second now. Man, this matchup is really, really tough, but I think we're going to scruff it through, guys. There's nothing he can do with 5 seconds remaining. We got it. Oh my gosh, that defense was tight, and we say goodnight to this man. GG, well played and peace out. That comeback was real, and it totally felt like a steal. Only 28 trophies from that, but the win felt super solid, and now we're 8,600 in the world. In the final match for the title of World Champion and $250,000, Mohamed Light won it all with this deck. All right, so Mohamed's final deck that he used to secure the $250,000 is this one right here. He clutched up because Archer Queen and Miner allows him to get massive amount of damage as soon as he gets one Mortar connection or one good Archer Queen connection. So Mortar, Poison, Miner, so strong. It's just chipping out opponents. I'm going to Miner in the back. This is a pretty risky play. I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have done that in front of the tower because we didn't know if he had Tornado or not. So I was just living on the edge. I wanted to experience what it would be like to maybe have my life flash before my very eyes, apparently. And luckily enough, he ends up having a different version of deck that I thought he would. He's going to end up having Royal Recruits. So typically in this type of matchup, what you'll want to do is you want to cycle your Valkyrie early on and get back to another one. But I don't necessarily have that luxury right now. So we're going to go for guards. We should be able to pull everything. And then I can use my Archer Queen ability. And if he arrows us, then I can go for a Valkyrie afterward. The Archer Queen is able to kill almost all of his stuff, and I can go for a Miner here. I really want to get the Miner in front of the Archer Queen so we can force out more Elixir and potentially pop another ability. Yo, you have the skill barbs. I totally wasn't expecting that. Out of all the cards in the game, I would think that was the least expected card for me. Please, let me drop the guards for... Oh, please, please, please. I thought they were low enough so then I wouldn't take a blow from the flying machine. I thought I timed that exquisitely, pulling the Leap Barbarians as far as possible. It didn't work out. It was the highest skill play that I could have done. For the potential risk reward, it was worth it. All right, I'm going to go in for a log since we're able to knock back all the piggies and then the Valkyrie's able to get more value. Usually the piggies disperse and then the Valkyrie's not able to touch them all at once, but when they're trying to clog up all the side and go directly towards the tower, they get kind of all bunched together so the Valkyrie gets more value. Bunched together is a bunch of value for the Valk. Maybe he's going to go in for something else here. I don't know. I could go for a Fire Spirit last possible second to go and pull this back. So then maybe we don't take any damage. Yeah, we don't take anything at all. Doesn't go in for a Barbarian Burrow or anything like that. So last time he decided to go for arrows, I told you guys that I typically want to go in for the Valkyrie here. So I'm going to go and do that early on. And then I think we're going to cycle a log here. He's going to arrow preemptively. Wait, I got drag glitch. Oh no. Well, I guess I didn't want to drop that log anyway. The game knew. The game knew that I wanted to hold my elixir. What an awesome game. It's looking out for me, guys. I totally dropped my Valk and my guards and all my stuff, but like none of that stuff, not all of it dropped there. That was pretty crazy. All right, so we're going to go in for a Valkyrie here, and we should be able to shut this down. He's going to Fireball and arrows because that does kill the Archer Queen, so I'm not going to click the ability since I know that the Archer Queen dies to arrows. I'm expecting him to arrow it anyway. Maybe he's not, because the guards are something he has to respond to. Oh, let's go! He misses the Archer Queen. You already know this is going to be a painful experience for our homie, because we're able to finish off everything and potentially lock onto the tower. Wow, so when he's at a low amount of elixir, you guys already know the deal. What would Mohamed Light do? It's go in for the Valkyrie and then go in for the mortar and put our opponent in more pain and suffering. Because he has to defend this with almost all of his elixir, and when he loses the cage, he has to drop more units, and then he can't defend the miner. So that's typically why the deck is so strong. Consistently applying aggression, and then dropping a 1 elixir Archer Queen ability at the river just melts faces out here. Watch. Everything dies to 1 elixir. Is that fair and balanced, Clash Royale? Probably not, right? You should maybe look at how broken those champion abilities are. And then, here's what we can do. We can go for a log and a poison, and then go in for a miner because the Archer Queen is in the back, so he has to respond to that. But if he responds to Archer Queen, then he can't deal with the miner, so then we just go in for a log and we walk with win. Unless, wait, I need to go for a poison because this is 1 HP. Oh, baby! That's a little bit scuffed. If I got drag glitch there, I would have actually lost the game. I got drag glitch earlier, but fortunately, it wasn't in an important moment. And after that one, you know, we've got a very dominant streak with all of Mohamed Light's decks. They're incredible. And at the very end of the day, we pushed up to 5,700 in the world. These decks were incredibly strong. Let me know down below in the comment section what your favorite one was. As to be expected, the best player in the world probably knows some of the best decks. Like if you enjoyed the video today, subscribe for more daily content, and I hope you have an incredible rest of your day.